Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we will diving into the RAG once again, but this time we will be using it as an agent with ADK. Because in my last video we have already covered RAG corpus, where we have seen we have uploaded some of the documents in the RAG corpus, and then we fired some prompt to get the response from the LLM and on your enterprise data, and we have seen how it generate the response. So, but this time in this demo, we are using a sample agent which has already been built by the Google, and we are going to utilize it. We will also deploy it into the agent engine, right? So, let's explore how this works. So, let's quickly jump onto my terminal. So in the terminal, we are using the same repository here in the under the agent directory. We have covered the data science before. Now we want to perform the RAG. So the first thing that we need to do is to install the dependency. So if you look at this RAG directory, there are multiple directories for deployment. This is used for the agent engine. Evaluation directory will be used when we try to evaluate, or we can say a unit testing of your agent. And this is the actual directory where we have the agents files, and these are some of the test case, right? So we will cover everything in this demo. The very first thing is that you just need to install the dependencies. So this command install the dependency with the poetry, and basically what happens, this command reads the pyproject .2 ml files and installs all the necessary dependencies into your virtual environment, which is managed by the poetry. So this is the file. If I show you here, pyproject 2ml, if we have defined all your dependency over here. So simply it will basically go ahead and installing all your dependencies. It is already installed on my machine. It says no dependency to install and update. Another important thing that you need to check your Python version. So make sure that your Python version is right now is 3.13.3. I think it should be less than 3.12.2. Um, so let me, okay, I'll check this later. Let's first go ahead with the other steps. So there is an environment file here, wherein if you want to deploy this agent in a Vertex AI, you can just make it one. And if you want to use the Google API key, you can also use the Google API key. And define your Google Cloud projects, your reason. This is a RAG corpus. If you have existing RAG corpus, you can define your existing RAG corpus. But if you don't have, it will create a new RAG corpus using a script, and it will update into the environment file. This is the staging bucket. Basically, this bucket will be used to upload the artifacts or package in when we deploy it to the agent engine, right? First, the second step is we now have to upload the files to the RAG corpus. So there is a directory called, if you expand the RAG, there is a directory called shared libraries, and under this directory we have a script, and this script helps you to set up a RAG corpus, and it also upload an initial document. So by default, it download this particular file. This is a Google Cloud Alphabet 2024 information, basically all these business informations, and this is around a one single PDF file of 99 or 100 pages. This is the name of the file. So it's gonna upload it and into the RAG corpus, right? So the first thing that we're gonna need to do is go to this file Python, and then RAG share libraries, and run this particular script. So you can see here this script is uploading, creating the RAG corpus. Since it has found the existing corpus with this name, it has used that corpus and updated to my env file. You can see this in the env file, you can see this, and then it download the PDF from this URL, and then PDF is downloaded successfully, and then it uploaded to the corpus, and here are the some of the files. Okay. um Now the next thing is, what we need to do is to, I think we are all set. Now we can run this agent, right? We can run this agent using the CLI. We can run this agent using the web UI. So I like ADK web. This is a kind of a web UI interface, and it runs locally. So copy the URL or just follow the link, and here select the directory called RAG, because here this is the location where we have an agent. And now we can interact with the agent. The first question I'm going to ask is, let me ask this question. Is this what are the key business segments mentioned in alphabet file? So you can see the response from the agent that according to the alphabet, these are the key business segments. Google Cloud Service, Google Cloud, and other bets, including um, additionally centralized AI related research and all those things, right? Now, you can ask maybe, what are the key business in Google Cloud? So I'm just randomly asking. I'm just randomly asking anything, right? So let's say how it responds. Let's see. So yeah, it is responding. Google Cloud includes infrastructure as a platform, service, application, enterprise customers. So yeah, so based on the document that we have uploaded, it is generating a very good response, right, on your enterprise data. Now the next thing that we are going to do is to evaluate the agent. Now, why evaluation is important? We first need to understand this evaluation. Let me go back to my terminal. So if you see here, let me just show you here. There is an evaluation directory, and under this evaluation directory, you will have this file, test evaluation.py file. And these are some of the, you'll see this, some of the conversation test JSON file, right? So what do you mean by the evaluation, right? I have not covered this in my previous video where we have deployed this data science agent, but I will cover in this topic here why evaluation is necessary. Evaluation of an agent is necessary because we want to ensure that it performs all the required tasks effectively, it providing the correct, relevant, and coherent response. So in the case of RAG agent, evaluation ensures that agents accurately retrieves useful information from the corpus and generate the high quality and context aware response. This entire process helps in identifying any issues which might be related to the agent's ability to understand the queries, right? And that is why the evaluation is essential whenever you test it on your local machine and before you deploy it into the agent engine or production. So if I talk about the evaluation in agent, you basically you can evaluate the agent using a one line command. So first of all, let me just stop this ADK web. So there is a one line command called poet run pytest eval. So this is the one line command which will, what it will do behind the scene. There is a so in this particular directory we know that there is a file. So this particular file test underscore eval.py is, this is the main script that will automate the evaluation process, right? Behind the scenes it use the agent evaluator, right? So this is kind of a library which actually automate the entire Google ADK agent evaluation process. So this use the agent evaluator agent against a test data set, and what it will do, it will assess its performance based on the predefined criteria. Right now, what our predefined criteria is, which is under conversation test.json file. This contains a sequence of, you can see here, can sequence of structure query, or I would say user query, and then we have expected tool usage, which tools the agent should call with what parameter, right? And then the reference answer, right? So you can see here the query, the tools, the reference. Again, I have the query, the expected tools, the then the reference. So there are so many queries are here, and then there is something called test define test underscore configure JSON. This file is defines the evaluation criteria, right? On which criteria you would say that your agent is passed, right? So if you see here, this is a kind of a trajectory average score 0.009, which means it measure how well the agent use the appropriate tools. And there is something called response match score, which measure how closely this agent the agent response matches the reference answers, right? So it will see, right? So these are some of the numbers that had been given based on the criteria, right? So based on that, this criteria has been set, right? So when you run this command poetry run pytest evaluation, what it will does, it, let me just first run it. So what it does, it load the test cases from the conversation test.json file. Then it starts sending the query to the agent. Then it's gonna compares the agent tool against the expected tool usage. It also compared the agent response against the reference answers, and then finally it calculated the scores based on the criteria, right? So let's just wait uh, let's just wait for this to finish, and we will see how many test has been passed. We will see based on the this criteria, right? So let's just wait. Yeah, so here you can see that it is 100% passed, and this is one passed. Okay, and the time it took around 34.45 seconds. And I don't see here the criteria numbers, but anyways, so this is passed basically, right? So this evaluations basically helps you to ensure that your agents are correctly leveraging the RAG capabilities, which is relevating your which is retrieving the relevant information and generating the accurate response, right? Now we have tested, we have also evaluated it. Now it's time to deploy this into the agent engine, right? Basically I'm deploying it into the production. So the command, so there is a deployment folder. This is a standard directory structure, right? For every agent, you when you create a custom agent, you should also follow the same structure, like deployment folder, evaluation folder, actual agent folder. There are some test cases, and then we have this deployment folder. This deployment folder has this deploy.py script, or this file. This file is using the agent engine. Is importing, we are importing the agent engine from the Vertex AI and ADK app, so that we can deploy it into the agent engine. Now the command is um, Python deploy. Then we have deploy.spy. So let's run this. Okay, so here the unsupported Python version are 3.13. Let me just fix it and then I'll resume the video. Okay, so let me check my Python version now. It has been degraded to 3.119, so I should be able to deploy the agent into the agent engine. So let's run the code, Python development deployment, and then deploy. Let's run this. Hopefully we should be all set. So after the agent has been deployed, you will be able to see the agent that the agent engine has been successfully created, and the resource name will start with something um, Oh, I think I get an error. So let me check here. Oh yeah, so bucket name will start like this. Let me rerun this command. Yeah, you can see that this is working behind the scene. So you can see that this is the agent engine, right? So not the this is not the right agent engine. Uh, yeah, I think this is the one. So you just copy this particular, not that. So let's just wait for few minutes. Generally it takes 5 to 7 minutes. So I think so. After 10 minutes, I can see that my agent has been deployed successfully, and here you can see that this is my agent engine ID. um, so you can see it from here. The deployed agent to Vertex AI agent engine successfully, and also if you notice that in the environment variable, if you just look at it, um, here this is automatically updated by this script deploy.py. So this agent engine ID 0592, here you can see confirm that 0592. This script has automatically deployed this agent ID into your environment variable, and you need to verify it that it has been correctly updated or not. So make sure that this is there. And another important thing is that in the environment variable there is something called RAG corpus, which we have created earlier. So make sure that it is there, and we need to provide the we need to grant RAG corpus and access permissions. So so this is your RAG corpus ID when we use this utility file, if you remember. Now we need to run, there is a permission script already there. It's this one, grant permissions. The script is to grant the RAG corpus access permission to the AI platform reasoning engine service agent, right? So it need permission to the service agent. The first thing that you need to do is to run the permission executable. So you can do deployment, and so this is okay. We can do one thing. It will ask you for the re-authentication. So simply put your Google account password here. Put it again. So re-authentication has been successful. You have been granted, and now it says yes. So it is basically installing the um, I think it is installing the some SDK components for yeah, I think it is installing some SDK components. So just wait for it to finish. So basically, what this script is doing, it is actually granting the permissions, right? And here, just put it none, and it creates the custom role with the RAG corpus query permissions. Is grant the necessary permission to the AI platform, reasoning engine service agent, right? So this is the service agent. If you look at the service agent, we have given some permissions from here. If you look at it here. This is the permission AI platform RAG corporate query, and yeah, so this is the custom permission we have given to the service agent. Now we need to test the remote agent. Now earlier we have tested our agent locally using the ADK web, but now the our agent has been deployed to the agent engine. we will test it on the remote agent, right? So there is already a script in development, in deployment, call it run.py. So here, see, in this particular script, we will connect to the deploy agent, and it will send some series of test queries. Like here you can see the queries, hi, how are you, and all these things. um, and this particular query, and the display, and it display the agent response with a proper formatting. So let me just first run this deployment. In a real world, you are not using your remote agent like this. You will integrate it. Okay, what happened? There is some issues. Permission engine execution failed. Please refer the documentation. Okay, what happened exactly? Let me run this again. Okay, so looks like some issues. 400.